Just when the streets had started to quiet down after his tragic death, new footage surfaced. Raw, unfiltered, and chilling. The last known recordings of King Von on the ground have just leaked, and they're shaking up the internet all over again. The clip, reportedly captured moments after gunfire broke out, offers a whole new perspective on those final seconds. For fans, it's reopening old wounds. For those closest to Von, it's a haunting reminder of how fast everything changed. But what's in the video has people asking one big question. Why was this hidden until now? What you're about to discover might just change how you remember that night, those final moments. What really happened on the night of November 6th, 2020, when news broke that rising Chicago drill star King Von had been killed in Atlanta. The hip-hop world stood still. The tragic death of Da'Von Daquan. Bennett, better known to fans as King Von, sent shockwaves through the music industry and left fans devastated. But what exactly happened that fateful night outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta? Today we're diving deep into the footage, witness testimonies, and the controversial aftermath of one of hip-hop's most tragic recent losses. The events of November 6th have been pieced together through surveillance videos, eyewitness accounts, and police reports. According to multiple sources, King Von had been at the Opium nightclub earlier in the evening before heading to the Monaco Hookah Lounge on Trinity Avenue in downtown Atlanta. It was between 3:20 and 4 a.m. when everything changed forever. What makes this case especially complex is the pre-existing tension between two rival groups. Von was affiliated with Lil Durk's Only the I family label. At the same location that night was Quando Rondo, who has ties to NBA YoungBoy's Never Broke Again collective. These affiliations would prove to be crucial in understanding what unfolded, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. What began as a verbal altercation in the parking lot quickly escalated into physical violence and then gunfire. Surveillance footage that later surfaced online showed King Von dressed in all-white punching another man believed to be Quando Rondo, though this was never officially confirmed by police. This initial physical confrontation set off a chain reaction that ended in tragedy. The verbal back and forth quickly turned into fists flying before someone pulled out and started shooting. 6 people were hit. King Von and another man, 34-year-old Mark Blakely, also from Chicago, lost their lives. 3 others were wounded and rushed to the hospital. When the news first broke, confusion ran rampant. Early reports claimed 3 people had died before corrections clarified it was 2. This initial mix-up only added to the rumors and speculation about what really went down that night. The moment of the shooting was caught on surveillance video, which TMZ eventually obtained and posted online. The footage showed the initial scuffle before shots rang out and then captured the chaos afterward, as Von was carried into a vehicle that sped off toward the hospital. The release of this footage added a visual layer to the tragedy that fueled non-stop discussion and debate. Online sources close to Quando Rondo, real name Tykean Terrell Bowman, claimed he was napping in a car when King Von's crew arrived, sparking a tense situation. King Von reportedly approached aggressively, initiating a physical fight. Things escalated fast into a shootout ending with King Von's death at age 26. Now let's hear from Quando Rondo himself about what happened that night. In his own words, from an interview with Angela Yee, Quando claimed he was simply waiting in the parking lot with no intention of confrontation. He described the moments leading up to the incident, saying he was caught off guard when someone, allegedly Von, struck him. This is where Timothy Leaks, also known as Lil Tim, an associate of Quando Rondo, enters the picture. Leaks, who was present at the scene, allegedly fired the shots that killed King Von. Here's what Lil Tim had to say about his involvement.
I'm like, why somebody with my little brother, you feel me? It's like, that's what's really going through my head at the moment when it first pop off. I'm like, damn, like, but I'm gonna protect the person though. It's like, any brother I have, or any sister I have, or any family member I have, if anybody is bothering or doing something to anybody who I love, I'm gonna protect them regardless.
Leaked statements suggest that he acted out of loyalty rather than with premeditated intent, a narrative that may have influenced why the charges against him were eventually dropped. As the situation escalated, multiple videos captured the chaos that unfolded. What started as a fistfight quickly turned deadly once firearms were drawn. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, a total of 6 people were shot during the incident. King Von was among them, suffering critical injuries. In the immediate aftermath, confusion surrounded who had actually shot King Von. Initial rumors suggested that police officers might have been responsible, as both on-duty and off-duty officers responded to the scene. However, the Atlanta Police Department quickly clarified that King Von was shot before their arrival during the initial exchange of gunfire between the two groups. After being shot, King Von was placed in a vehicle by his associates and rushed to the hospital. Tragically, he succumbed to his injuries shortly after arrival. Another victim, 34-year-old Mark Blakely from Chicago, also died from wounds sustained during the shootout. 3 others were injured and hospitalized with varying conditions. The day after the shooting on November 7th, 2020, Timothy Leaks was arrested and charged with felony murder in connection with King Von's death. At the time of his arrest, Leaks was also being treated for gunshot wounds at Grady Hospital, having been injured during the same incident. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that just days before his death, King Von had been seen in high spirits celebrating the release of his album Welcome to O Block, which dropped on October 30th, 2020. Here's a brief glimpse of Von just 2 days before the tragedy.
King Von, bro! What's going on, boy? King Von in the hood, how we doing?
This footage takes on an eerie, haunting quality when you realize how close it was captured to his untimely death. At just 26 years old, with his career on the rise, King Von's life was cut short in a sudden act of violence, one that appeared to stem from a spontaneous confrontation. The legal aftermath of King Von's death took an unexpected turn in August 2023 when the murder charge against Timothy Leaks was dismissed. According to reports, the charge was dropped before an indictment was ever made, suggesting either insufficient evidence or deeper issues with the case. Leaks' attorney, Noah Pines, confirmed the dismissal, though the specific reasons were never publicly disclosed. Development added yet another layer of controversy to an already complex case. Before that tragic night in Atlanta, King Von had been making major strides in his music career. His raw storytelling and authentic portrayal of Chicago street life had gained him a loyal fan base. His album, Welcome to O Block, named after the notorious Parkway Gardens housing project where he grew up, was receiving praise from critics. Songs like Crazy Story and Took Her to the O had already cemented his status as a rising star in the drill scene. Although, the exact reason behind the dropped charges was never revealed in public court records. Legal experts believe it may have been related to Georgia's Stand Your Ground law, which allows the use of deadly force in self-defense. For many fans, the dismissal felt like justice was denied, while Quando Rondo's supporters saw it as confirmation of their self-defense claims. The street politics. To truly understand the context behind King Von's tragic death, we have to look at the deeper, more volatile relationship between two influential hip-hop collectives. Only the Family, led by Lil Durk and 4KT for Kentrell, associated with NBA Youngboy. This feud didn't happen overnight. It developed slowly over time through a combination of personal drama, professional rivalry, and cultural tension, a mix that created the perfect storm. The origins of the OTF and 4KT beef are multi-layered, involving not just musical competition, but deeply personal connections. One major source of tension involved romantic entanglements. Asian Doll, who was publicly linked to King Von, had reportedly also been involved with NBA Youngboy in the past. Similarly, Jania, a woman connected to both camps, was another factor adding to the animosity. Beyond the personal issues, professional disputes played a major role. It's been said that King Von had once tried to collaborate with NBA Youngboy on a track, but was turned down. In the competitive world of hip-hop, especially between rising stars, rejection can easily be seen as a sign of disrespect, fueling rivalries even further. This tension was also deepened by gang affiliations. OTF, founded by Lil Durk in 2010, has strong ties to the Black Disciples, particularly the O Block faction in Chicago. King Von, who grew up in Parkway Gardens, aka O Block, was closely affiliated with this group. On the flip side, 4KT had its own set of alliances, often clashing with OTF's ties. Now let's hear directly from King Von himself, how he viewed conflict in the rap industry before his life was tragically—
Game, man. Talk.
Tell us what you mean in the game,
talking about
on
the
the
rap
rap game. You telling, okay? That sick as bogus. Shit, what else? Yeah, it be just and then we choosing side. We like say you don't f with a nigga, but you with another. Well, I guess he'll f that too harder than he f with you. So he don't fuck with you. You'll start seeing niggas done following you and shit on Instagram and shit. Stop talking to you and shit, because you know. But you'll see niggas be getting closer. You be like, what the? Like that's gay as—
Von's perspective here is telling. He saw loyalty as everything and believed that in the rap industry, people often switched sides or allegiances for convenience rather than real connections. This mindset likely shaped how he interpreted the actions. of NBA YoungBoy's camp, intensifying the tension between the two groups. Adding more fuel to the fire were OTF's alliances with artists like YNW Melly T Grizzly and TBG, each of whom had their own issues, with 4KT reports even surfaced of altercation between YNW Melly and NBA YoungBoy, further complicating the web of rivalries and alliances that stretched far beyond just OTF and 4KT. Tensions didn't always play out in the streets. Sometimes they simmered on social. Media king Von allegedly trolled NBA YoungBoy online, which reportedly triggered subtle responses like YoungBoy's line, "YoungBoys track dead trolls." In hip-hop, even small jabs like these can escalate into serious real-world conflict, especially when pride and street credibility are involved. This mounting pressure set the stage for what happened on the night of November 6, 2020, when King Von and Quando Rondo, who is signed to NBA YoungBoy's label, crossed paths outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge. It wasn't just a random encounter, it was a clash between two opposing camps with unresolved grievances. After Von's death, the beef didn't fade, it got worse. In the music world, NBA YoungBoy released Bring the Yay Hook, which included a controversial line many saw as a reference to Von's death. "Oh block pack, get rolled up." Lil Durk responded subtly on Instagram, posting a picture of King Von with a caption that many interpreted as a direct challenge to YoungBoy's crew. Back and forth continued. YoungBoy dropped "Know Like I Know," with what many believed were both rappers kept trading jabs through lyrics and posts, using social media to flex wealth claim dominance and throw veiled threats, further igniting their feud. Other rappers also took sides. Artists like Lil Reese, NLE Choppa, and 21 Savage weighed in, many aligning with OTF, partly due to Lil Durk's strong influence in Chicago's rap scene. Most shocking twist came in October 2024, when Lil Durk was arrested on federal charges. Prosecutors alleged that Durk had orchestrated a murder-for-hire plot targeting Quando Rondo in retaliation for King Von's death. According to the indictment, that plot resulted in the murder of Rondo's cousin Xaviera Lul Pab Robinson in August 2022. 5 associates, Kevin London Grant, DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston, were also indicted for conspiracy to commit murder for. Now here's what Quando Rondo had to say about his friend's death, an event that prosecutors now claim was the result of this alleged retaliation.
Lil Pep, he actually died in your arms.
That happening to my right hand, man. My beef is really mainly in the music industry. You could've did this, he could've did this, your little partner could've did this.
The legal ramifications didn't end there. In October 2024, the estate of FBG Duck, Carlton Weekly, who was killed in 2020, filed a lawsuit against Lil Durk, King Von's estate, and OTF Records. The suit alleged that they profited from Duck's death through negligence and misconduct, citing a $100,000 hit allegedly placed by King Von. Let's walk through the timeline of major moments in this escalating beef. Before November 2020, tensions between OTF and 4KT were already rising. Personal disputes, rejected music collaborations, and frequent jabs on social media laid the foundation for something much darker. Then on November 6, 2020, things took a deadly turn. King Von was fatally shot outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta during a heated confrontation with Quando Rondo's crew. Just one day later, on November 7th, Timothy Lil Tim Leaks was arrested and charged with King Von's murder. Between 2021 and 2022, the feud intensified. Diss tracks flew from both camps, and online confrontations further fueled the fire. In August 2022, another tragedy struck when Quando Rondo's cousin Xaviera Lul Pab Robinson was shot and killed in Los Angeles. By August 2023, the murder charges against Timothy Leaks were surprisingly dropped. But the drama was far from over. In October 2024, Lil Durk was arrested and accused of orchestrating a hit on Quando Rondo, a plot that allegedly resulted in Lul Pab's death. That same month, FBG Duck's estate filed its lawsuit claiming that OTF profited from his death. The aftermath of King Von's death exposed how personal this conflict truly was. In an interview with Angela Yee, Quando Rondo expressed shock over the confrontation, stating he once had a good relationship with Lil Durk, He emphasized that Durk had never charged him for features, unlike many in the industry, which made the later violence even more tragic. This history suggests that misunderstandings and escalating tension, rather than deep-seated hatred, may have played a major role in the conflict. The feud between OTF and 4KT is a prime example of how hip-hop rivalries can go beyond music and spill into real-world violence. What may begin as competitive posturing or public disrespect can spiral into deadly confrontations, especially when tied to long-standing gang affiliations. King Von's death became a turning point in this saga, turning a manageable industry feud into a full-blown blood war with devastating consequences. As of April 2025, the conflict remains unresolved. Rumors have swirled about potential reconciliation efforts, possibly led by figures like Kendrick Lamar, but nothing official has materialized, with Lil Durk facing serious federal charges and the lawsuit. From FBG Duck's estate still pending, the legal and social fallout continues to unfold. The ripple effects extend beyond just OTF and 4KT. The rap industry itself has become more divided. Artists now navigate a minefield of alliances, some like 21 Savage have aligned with OTF, while others like DaBaby have tried to stay neutral. This tension has made collaboration harder and forced artists to pick sides in a war that shows no signs of ending. In the years since King Von's tragic passing, a wave of theories and controversy has emerged, fueled by fans' cryptic posts and social media speculation. One of the most persistent and divisive narratives connected to the case is the theory that King Von was set up to die. Despite lacking conclusive evidence, this theory has gained traction in certain corners of the internet. These speculations stem from a mix of factors: the timing and location of Von's death, existing tensions within the industry, and later events that raised questions about loyalty and betrayal. On Reddit, fans have debated the idea that the confrontation wasn't random, but rather a premeditated setup. Some suggest that Quando Rondo deliberately provoked King Von to create a situation where violence could be justified. One piece of evidence often cited is an old Instagram story clip that allegedly shows Von and Rondo hanging out, implying they were once on good terms. The shift from apparent friendship to fatal confrontation has led many to wonder what really happened behind the scenes. Even more controversial are the theories implicating Lil Durk and Von's death. Some fans speculate that Durk, possibly envious of Von's rapidly rising fame, may have orchestrated the setup alongside Quando Rondo. Supporters of this theory point to a social media comment from Durk after Von's death, referencing a fan-made Von chain with the phrase, "Get it back in blood," the same phrase used for the chain Durk had gifted Von while he was alive. These suspicions gained further traction following Lil Durk's October 2024 arrest on federal murder-for-hire charges related to a plot allegedly targeting Quando Rondo. While the indictment frames this as retaliation for Von's death, some fans believe it hints at a more calculated and layered story involving betrayal from within Von's own circle. Social media has amplified these theories. On X, formerly Twitter, posts speculating about the case have racked up hundreds of thousands and even millions of views. A post by College Kid on October 27, 2024 garnered over 69,000 views, linking Von's beef with NBA YoungBoy to the fight with Quando Rondo and Durk's subsequent arrest. The next day, the Podrep posted a thread with over 5 million views exploring potential connections between Von Rondo and Durk. It's important to note that none of these theories have been confirmed, and most rely on speculation rather than verified evidence. The 2023 dismissal of murder charges against Timothy Leaks, Lil Tim, further complicated
King Von, bro! What's going on, boy? King Von in the hood, how we doing?
as proof of a deeper conspiracy. Legal experts have cited more mundane factors like insufficient evidence or procedural issues. Adding to the speculation were claims made by King Von's former partner, Asian Doll. In a post on X, she wrote that police told her, "Tim ain't kill him, the police did." This directly contradicts the official report from the Atlanta Police Department, which stated that Von was shot during the initial exchange of gunfire before officers arrived. Still, her claim added another layer to the web of alternative narratives surrounding his death. Beyond the controversies, King Von's musical legacy continues to thrive. He left behind an extensive archive of unreleased material that still captivates fans. According to his former manager, Track in a 2021 interview with DJ Vlad Von had recorded around 300 unreleased songs before his death, enough for approximately 10 albums. This treasure trove of unreleased tracks has sparked ongoing interest within the fan community. Platforms like SoundCloud and Reddit have become key hubs for sharing and discussing leaked Von material. In February 2024, one Reddit post asking for recommendations of unreleased King Von tracks received 85 comments, with fans actively recommending their favorite songs to new listeners. Suggestions from fans highlight the continued interest in King Von's work. Among the most frequently mentioned unreleased tracks are NASA, OG, Heartless, Hard to Breathe, and several collaborations with Lil Durk, including I Am No Auto, Raincoat, and Takeoff Champ. These recommendations offer a glimpse into the diversity of Von's unreleased catalog, suggesting that his artistic legacy goes far beyond what's officially available on streaming platforms. The management of this unreleased material has been a point of discussion among fans. Some worry that ongoing leaks might jeopardize official posthumous releases, while others see these leaks as a way to keep Von's legacy alive, especially given how much music might otherwise go unheard. Interestingly, as of April 14, 2025, a new album titled Unreleased Songs is scheduled for release on April 15, 2025, according to information from Beat2Go.com. The album is expected to include 6 tracks, though the exact song list remains uncertain with some inconsistencies in the available information. This upcoming release represents the latest effort to officially share Von's unreleased work with fans following earlier posthumous albums like What It Means to Be King, March 2022, and Grandson, July 2023. The continued interest in King Von's unreleased music reflects his lasting impact on the drill scene and hip-hop culture at large. His storytelling authentic portrayal of street life and distinctive voice established him as a rare talent whose influence endures years after his death. Beyond the music, King Von's story is a powerful narrative of redemption, tragedy, and the difficulty of escaping a violent environment. Before finding success in music, Von faced serious legal troubles, including incarceration for armed robbery as a juvenile and a 3-year stint in Cook County Jail from 2014 to 2017 on murder charges for which he was eventually acquitted. His transformation from legal struggles to musical stardom represented a path out of the cycle of violence that claims so many young lives in Chicago that makes his death at just 26 years old, as his career was on the rise, even more heartbreaking. It also raises deeper questions about the intersection of hip-hop culture and street life, and the difficulties artists face when trying to leave behind environments defined by conflict and retaliation. The impact of King Von's death reaches far beyond his immediate circle. Within the broader hip-hop community, his story has become a touchstone in ongoing conversations about industry violence, the consequences of rap beefs, and the responsibilities that come with fame. His life and death are a sobering reminder of how quickly success can turn to tragedy when street tensions bleed into the music industry. As we reflect on King Von's legacy nearly 5 years after his passing, it's clear that his influence is still deeply felt. His music, both the officially released tracks and leaked unreleased material, provides a unique window into his voice, perspective, and talent. And with Lil Durk's federal trial scheduled for October 2025, the circumstances around Von's death will remain in the public spotlight for the foreseeable future. If you enjoyed this video, click one of the cards on your screen to watch more videos like this.